Hey guys, how's it going? It's 8-Bit Eric. PlayStation 5 console launch is just around the corner. Lots of media outlets are starting to get hands-on impressions. They're starting to really get to sink the teeth into the upcoming console that it's genuinely getting me excited. The more that I see, the more that I read, the more that I find out about it, I'm like, holy smokes, I cannot wait to open up my own PlayStation 5 when it gets here. Luckily, I got the pre-order. But speaking of PlayStation 5 news, we're going to take a look at an article from comicbook.com that actually shows how the load times are for one of the launch games. This is Godfall, which is coming up by Gearbox. It looks like a pretty legit game that I cannot wait to sink the teeth into. It's like a loot hack and slash type of game where you run around. Almost, it kind of reminds me of Demon Souls and stuff. So, been very curious to find out about it. Anyways, if this is your first time coming to the channel, before we get to the article and before we get to the video, why don't you click the red subscription button down below and enable your notifications so you don't miss any of the headlines that I'm going to help give you guys. So I'm trying to keep up to date, let you guys know and be informed as we get into the next console generation. So here we go. Comicbook.com says PlayStation 5 video shows console's incredibly fast loading times. The next console generation set to begin next month, and it seems that there will be a big focus on loading times. Honestly, last week, that article that I read with the Oodle and Kraken, how the software hybrid hardware mix is working together to process speeds a lot quicker and stuff, it sounds interesting. It sounds like a lot of fun. I'm actually, the more that I read, the more I get excited, and especially with these journalistic articles coming out. So it says the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X will take load times to a point that they have never been before. You got that right. Everything that I read is exciting me. So this fact has been showcased by members of the gaming media that have now gotten their hands on the consoles. A video of the PS5 running Godfall has been shared on Twitter by @Videotech, and it shows the game booting up at a speed that would have been impossible during this console generation. That's actually very exciting. So we're actually seeing video of a PS5 loading Godfall, which is a launch title again. This will be playable on launch. And this is showed from Twitter. The article or the person's name is Videotech. We're going to go ahead and open this tweet as well so we can go ahead and personally take a look at it. So you can see right here, Videotech says, we have finally have a taste of the loading times for the PlayStation 5. One of the Japanese media outlet released gameplay of Godfall, but one particular outlet showed the loading screen to jump into the game. It takes as little as 7 seconds to load. Impressive. So you can see right here, look at that. That's a loading screen right there. Less than 7 seconds. And we're absolutely right in the game. That's unheard of. Honestly, and then if you look at the actual gameplay itself, that looks striking. Like, look at that. Look at the distance, the draw distance, the shading, everything about it. We're going to take a look at a longer video here in a minute, but we're going to continue the article. It says, Sony has talked about the PS5's load times over the last few months, but it's a different thing entirely seeing it in action, which that's understatement of the year. It remains to be seen whether or not Godfall's loading time will be the standard, but this is a very good omen for those that are planning on buying the console. So, will it be the standard? Well, I'm having a feeling that, man, my eye is super itchy today, by the way, guys. Maybe it's just because I'm so excited to see the PlayStation 5 video. But, you know, I think it's all depending on how the developer focuses on utilizing the PlayStation 5's power with ray tracing and the processing power and stuff like that. I still think we might see some trouble with some of the early launch titles, that some of the launch titles might have some problems, especially the ones that are cross-gen, that are on PlayStation 4 or whatever. So it says, previous console generations have placed a larger focus on graphics, but the leap between the PS4 and PS5 is less significant. So this kind of contradicts what Gearbox head Ryan Pitchfork was saying, where he said this was the biggest leap that he's ever seen. Some people are still saying that they haven't really noticed much of a difference. It says games like Marvel Spider-Man are getting a noticeable boost from the PS5 hardware, but it's certainly a smaller jump than the one between the PS3 and PS4. Casual audience likely won't see much of a difference. Loading times, however, are much more noticeable, and it's clear that both Sony and Microsoft will use that visual in an attempt to wow audiences. So the loading time situation is definitely going to be something that's used to pitch how powerful their consoles and systems are. This little glimpse that we got right now from Godfall is definitely a good sign of what it looks like. Again, though, it's not confirmed if every single game that will be available at launch will have such great load times. So, fortunately, we don't have much longer to wait on that. But let's go ahead. We're going to go to this video. We're going to take a look at some of the gameplay, which it looks really insane, honestly. And I'm going to leave a link to this article into this video right here. But take a look at this. My goodness. Just look at the detail in the background, the leaves blowing, the sun coming down.
It's sluggish.
How seamless it went into the transition from the loading time. Now, I don't know how to read Japanese, so I can't really tell you what it's saying on screen, but this game actually looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. This is on my radar. This and Demon Souls for sure. Miles Morales. Astro's Playroom. This kind of reminds me of Skyrim a little bit, or Demon Souls. That type of vibe. Definitely looks like a really enjoyable adventure game. I mean, just taking a look at the graphics, the combat, it just seems like it just runs seamless. No real problems, no real trouble as far as the gameplay goes. So, and then on top of that, throw load times. Like, that's pretty legit. Like, the load time being 6 or 7 seconds long to hop right into the game. That's almost, like, unbelievable. Who would even thought how fast computers' GPU speeds would get? So, I don't know. I'm not a PC gamer, so seeing this on a console definitely impresses me quite a bit. And we'll go ahead and end it right there. If you guys want to see that video for yourselves, it's a 8-minute long video. I'm genuinely excited for this next console generation. Again, I'm not a PC gamer, so these fast speeds and these load times and stuff, I might sound like a complete noob getting excited about it. But to see a console machine having load times that quickly, that's been demonstrated on Godfall, is actually really intriguing and exciting. As more video comes out, as more media websites and journalists and reviewers start to cover these games and stuff, I'm definitely going to be taking note and keeping notice. So if you guys still haven't subscribed yet, if you haven't enabled your notifications, do so. As I find out news, also with pre-orders, if I find out news, I will be posting on here ASAP, guys. So thank you all for the support. I'll see you guys on the next video. You have a great day. This is going to be a great console generation coming up. I'm excited.